Charleston, South Carolina, we have azalea bushes. Now, Summerville, South Carolina, right up the road, is known as the town of azaleas. At least they like that moniker. Now, what else do we have? Oh, there's a magnolia back there. And of course, you have the mighty live oaks. And you know what I'm not seeing that I'm surprised I'm not seeing? Maybe there's some over there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any Spanish moss on the live oaks. All right, let's see what else they have out here. This is the parking lot of the Charleston Museum, by the way. But I just love how Charleston, every opportunity they can find to put a tree or a plant, they take it. This looks like a volunteer windmill palm. Still a baby. Then over here you've got all these ferns planted. Another thing I love about Charleston are the real gas lights. They're just beautiful. So one of the things you'll notice in Charleston is that a lot of the houses don't have any front yards. So they have these beautiful, lush courtyards in the backyard. And here is where you've got a walkway to get to the backyard. And I just think it's gorgeous. You have the wrought iron gate and the bricks that are covered in algae and moss. And then that is a resurrection fern on top of the wall. And I just think that's really cool. So here in Charleston, South Carolina, they're known for their flower boxes and their window boxes. And just about every house has a absolutely gorgeous pot full of beautiful flowers. You can see these pots are just about dead. Looks like you had a lantana that's half dead. Potato vine that's half dead. I don't know exactly what that is. But the same thing over here. I think because the house is under construction, they probably cut the drip irrigation off, because you can see they do have drip irrigation. It's just not cut on. So in Charleston, one of the things you can do is take a carriage tour. We don't do that because I'm an animal lover and it just breaks my heart the way these horses are treated around here. But it is a very popular thing to do. Thomas and I are just hoofing it today. It lets you slow down and lets you look at things. And this is something I wanted to show you a little bit better. So this is a restoration fern. I showed you one of these on one of the walls earlier. The reason why it's called a restoration fern is because it's dead most of its life. But when it rains, it perks up, it greens up, it is beautiful. But most of the time it looks dead. But they are all over oak trees here in the Charleston area. So you can see this oak has several little clumps of restoration fern on it. So these are palmetto trees, not palm trees. And from what I'm told, they're closely related to grasses. So we're walking around Charleston and I saw these tractor seat plants. And I thought I would share because they're very popular right now. And these look so good. They're so nice and green and glossy. So I thought I should share them with you. We have moved over to Charlestown Landing, and one of the things I like is that this place is very wild. It's not manicured at all. For example, their Mexican petunia over here, they're just letting go wild and take over this space. And they've got weeds. It's just wild. They're not doing anything to maintain it or keep it up. But it's very neat, very cool to see all of the plants in their natural state doing what they do. And this is right outside of the fox habitat. You really should come down here and see this for yourself. But let me see if I can zoom in and show you the fox. So that is a red fox, just doing foxy things. So I mentioned at Charlestown Landing, they don't really maintain anything. And this is a great example. So they do have these large lawns that are nicely cut and manicured. But then they have these wild meadows. And they're not wildflower meadows. They're literally just areas where they stop mowing. Just let the weeds grow. You can see it's full of wildlife. You've got moths and butterflies and, oh goodness, there was a little field mouse chirping at me. Scared the heck out of me. Sorry about that. Alright, let's mosey on and leave the field mouse alone. Still at Charlestown Landing, you can see the marsh area. And the oak trees come right up to the water. It is low tide. This right here is the glory of the low country of South Carolina. Is there anything more beautiful with the live oaks and the Spanish moss with the sun streaming through? That is just glorious. So here's some beautiful Charleston window boxes. This has rosemary, marigold, and ornamental peppers. It's just beautiful. So another beautiful Charleston window box. And Laura with Garden Answer would love this one because it is absolutely packed full. But I love how it's just green on green on green. You've got a little bit of this impatience, but even it's a white flower, so you don't have tons of color. So I got to be careful. These cobblestones are uneven. But I love how it's just all green with the variegated ivy. That's inspirational. I might have to do something like that. So why come to a garden at the end of the season? Because you get surprises like this. This azalea decided to show out today. Thomas and I were talking about how much we love old school azaleas for about a week and a half. And then after that, it's kind of a ugly, scraggly bush. But man, when it is blooming, it is gorgeous. So one of the things I love to do when on vacation is to go to places and get inspiration. This is Magnolia Plantation. And look at this camellia. That is just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that flower. I'm definitely inspired. When I get back home, I'm going to have to put some camellias in my garden. So I want to take a minute to show you the front. So you've got Solomon seal. That looks like a fatsia. And then you've got the caladiums with the ferns. And that looks like encore azaleas. And the begonias. Jeannie with Gardening with Creekside would love all the caladiums. So I want to make sure that I caught some of the red variety. And the interesting thing about this lily is it flowers first. Then after the flower dies, the leaves will come up. And I don't know if you can see at the base. Here's the leaves. So the leaves are just starting to approach. And this is right up under this beautiful magnolia tree. Just look at this tree. That is beautiful. So the other day when we were in downtown Charleston, I talked about the resurrection fern. And I wanted to show you an example of the green fern after it rained yesterday. It is absolutely covering this oak that's out over the water, and it is beautiful. So I just had to stop and show you the variegation on this azalea. Look at that flower. That is gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. And it's not even labeled. Is it only on that one stem? Nope. It's over here on this stem too. And then I do want to point out there's an Andina in here. I don't know if you can see the Andina behind the azalea. That's an Andina. And they have several what I call old school cultivar Andinas that are considered invasive in South Carolina, but I've seen them several places and they haven't been invasive. Interesting. So I wanted to stop and show you this lily because it's yellow. I've only seen red of these. So I had to stop and film this yellow one. That is gorgeous. And of course it's right in front of the beautiful bay. Look at those oak trees with the Spanish moss. So I just recently mentioned white azaleas, and then here we have blooming white azaleas. Again, the flowers are absolutely beautiful, but the bush is kind of scraggly and meh, unimpressive in my opinion. I want to go look at this one up here. Alright, so there's some more azaleas in bloom. But look how tall they get. Very pretty.